Oh my God, I could not breathe. I felt like I was about to die. So on today's video, I am going to talk about my Temazcal experience in Tulum, Mexico. My name is Sabrina. Thank you for watching this video and welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, definitely click the subscribe button and the notification button that's right next to it and join the family. I upload videos every week and I talk about many different topics from my past travel experiences, the behind the scenes of my travel company, tips, recommendations that I give you guys in order to make your future travel experiences better, less stressful, and a lot more efficient. So if you haven't had the chance to watch my Tulum videos, I have a video on my experience spending 2 months in Tulum and what to do in Tulum as well. So these videos are going to be listed in the description bar, so you could find a link that goes to them and you will learn more about my experience and the many different things I did while I was in Tulum for 2 months. So some of you might be wondering, what is a Temazcal? Why did I do it? What was my experience like? So a Temazcal is an ancient ceremony that used to be performed by the indigenous tribes of Mexico prior to the Spaniards' arrival. So it is an ancient ceremony that is aimed at helping you heal and has really good health properties, right? That's just the overall definition of a Temazcal. You enter this igloo-shaped temple type of thing that is made of volcanic rocks, and it's very short. You kind of have to crawl into it. There are places where you could sit. So once you are inside, they place heated like volcanic rocks that has been burning for hours. So now they're placing heated rocks in the middle that is going to basically sweat you out of negativity, impurities, and all that good stuff. So that's just the overall definition of what the experience is, what to expect, and all that good stuff, right? So as I was doing my research as to what I wanted to do in Tulum and what I could do, because when I travel, I want to have a full cultural experience where I learn about ancient traditions, ancient practices, where I get to go to indigenous communities and learn about things that are not popularized by mainstream media and experience certain things that you really have to know where to go, and someone probably sometimes have to take you. But to me, walking away from that country with those type of experiences, and sometimes even bringing back clients to experience them as well, is a wonderful thing. So when I travel, I look for these type of things, these type of activities where I'm able to do something that's not popularized, but that really helps me at getting to know the culture even better, and also something that I can take back and explain to people when I'm describing them what my experience in such and such country was like, right? So through my research, I found out the many things I could do in Tulum, and Temazcal was one of them. So I did some further research and to figure out what it was. And I was like, okay, once I did that, I was like, wow, this is interesting. Everyone was talking about how intense it was, but it's like in the beginning, it's gonna be very intense, but towards the end, you're gonna feel much better and all of that. So I was like, okay, you know what? I'm from a third world country. I'm from Haiti. I can handle intense. It's like, it's gonna be hot. I'm like, I live in Florida. I can handle hot, right? Okay, so I decided to look for where can I get one, because it's not something you could just go to like a shop, be like, hey, I want a Temazcal. it doesn't really work that way. You sort of have to research who can do it, because the ceremony has to be performed by a shaman. It can't be just performed by anybody, by an amateur. They're supposed to be speaking their indigenous language, the Mayan language, and anything other than English and Spanish. They're supposed to speak, so because that is supposed to allow them to speak to their ancestors and all that good stuff. But it has to be performed by a shaman. So I was looking for, where can I get such experience? Where can I participate in one? I looked everywhere. Most of them were closed. There was not really that many in Tulum. I was able to find one at first, and they quoted me $300 US. I was like, $300 US? Are you kidding me? For a 1 hour ceremony? They're like, yeah. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I can find it for cheaper. So I kept looking and I kept looking, and everywhere else was like, oh, you know, because of the pandemic, we are closed, because it's supposed to be done with a group. So the bigger the group, the more intense the experience is likely to be. So I was like, okay. And finally, I was able to find one at Holistica in Tulum, right? It is basically some sort of resort that is it's like a holistic resort, basically, hence the name Holistica, and everything that is done, from how the accommodation was built to the food. Only vegetarian and vegan food are served at Holistica, and they have a lot of holistic activities, like they have yoga, they have sound healing, they have everything. So if you are in Tulum and you want to basically have a healing experience, I would recommend going to Holistica. It is a little bit on the pricey side, but they do have a lot of great holistic activities that you would definitely be able to enjoy. So Holistica have their own Temazcal that they do, I believe, weekly or twice a week, right? So I was able to find it, and theirs was about $50. I was like, okay, I could do that. So let's do that, right? So they tell you you're not supposed to be wearing any jewelry. You're not supposed to have your phone out. So I will show you guys like what it looks like before the ceremony started, but you're not allowed to bring your phone. Plus, you wouldn't want that anyway. It's a ceremony. You're supposed to be 100% present, right? So it is recommended that you wear a bathing suit, because you are going to sweat a lot, like a lot. And I'm not the type of person that sweats a lot. It's one of those weird things. Even personal trainers have been like, damn, like after all these exercises you did today, you still didn't really sweat much. I don't sweat much personally, and I was drenched during my Temazcal experience. So even for someone like me who doesn't really sweat a lot, that tells you if you already sweat a lot on your own, bring a bathing suit, right? So I had a long braid, so I tied my hair up and then brought my bathing suit based on my research and all that good stuff. So I got there, paid my $50 and then changed, and this was about like 15 minutes before the ceremony was supposed to start. So I met a few wonderful ladies, got to network a little bit with them, and some of them have done it before. Some of the ladies and gentlemen, it was their first time doing it. Some people, they've done it many times before, so they kind of already knew what to expect, right? So a few minutes in, we all gathered in a circle, and the shaman told us a few things to say, and then once we said those things, then they started letting us in to the igloo, right? The igloo, the dome, and we started getting into it, and then it is very dark inside. So it's dark, but because of the little door, and you know, it was I did mine in October, Late September. I did it in late September, so it was already starting to get dark outside early, but it wasn't too dark, too early. So we get inside and then we all sit down, right? So I was like, okay. And then they start placing the volcano rocks. They're like orangey red because they've been burning in a hot fire for hours. So it's like, I'm like, okay, so I'm getting like a sauna type of situation. So the whole ceremony is for 1 hour. So I'm like, okay, so basically like spending an hour in the sauna. So I'm like, I'll be alright, right? So we all get in, and then they cover the door with like drapes and stuff like that. So now it's pitch dark. There is about 12 of us inside. I cannot see my left from my right to my top to my bottom. I can't see anything. It is dark. Even with your eyes open, it is pitch dark. You can only hear, you can only hear and you can only feel, but you cannot see anything, right? So it's like, okay, so like a dark sauna. I'm still figuring out. I'm just like, okay, we good. So the guy's like, okay guys, so basically he told us a few things to chant. We chanted those, and then he's like, so I have this tea that I made that has rosemary, lemon, it has lavender, and it has, what is it, like a few other herbs that has healing and detoxifying properties, and that will help us at purify us and basically helping us cleanse all the negative and impure stuff about ourselves. So I'm like, okay, I'm here for that, right? And then he throws that water into the rocks, and that ish started steaming. Oh my God, I could not breathe. I felt like I was about to die. I was like, whoa. Yeah, that's the intense part that everybody was talking about. I could not breathe. I was like, and we're all like struggling, and the shaman is like, you know, these are your demons trying to come out. I was like, they better be out because they're choking me. Bro, I was like, I can't breathe. And then so it's like, okay, you have to hold still. And this is within 5 minutes. I was like, holy I gotta stay inside this thing for an hour. And then this is only 5 minutes in. I was like, oh God, okay, I can do this. I can do this. I said, I'm not going to chicken out. I said I was gonna do it, so I'm gonna do it, right? So started doing it. Whew, and then after like maybe 5-10 minutes, the steam kind of like evaporates and things like that. At this point, I am sweating. I'm sweating, I'm hot, but I can handle heat. I'm from Haiti, which is in the Caribbean. I live in Florida. I can handle heat. I've done saunas before. I can handle heat. But what I cannot handle is a steam room. I've tried many times to be in a steam room. When I'm in a steam room, I can't breathe. So a Temazcal basically is like a sauna mixed with a steam room together. And so that way that gives you some sort of like visual and what that would feel like. If you've done a sauna or steam room separately before, then that will give you an idea of what the experience is like. But the sauna part I can handle. As long as he's not throwing anything in the water, I'm okay. But once he started throwing that thing, and it's not just regular steam, it is like a spicy steam because it has herbs in it. The water has herbs, so when it steams, the herb steams, so it's like it burns your eyes and it burns your lungs, and that's where the intensity comes from. So he's like, okay, so we have 4 portals that we have to enter, and this is portal number 1. I was like, oh Lord, I got 3 more portals of this. And then after a while, he opens the drape, letting air in so that way we can breathe a little bit. and then we talk about introspective work, a lot of thinking, a lot of meditating, a lot of figuring out like what are the negative things, what are the things that are holding you back, what are the things that you feel like you would want to change that would absolutely improve your life and things like that, and think about those thoughts and let these things go. There was a period of time where we were all screaming, literally screaming our lungs out, and this was like phase 3, I think, where we were all screaming, and the scream was to really let it out. All the things you've been holding down, let it out. And we screamed a lot. And then someone was, there was another person, it was like another shaman that was like basically beating a drum, and it's like between that and the yelling and the screaming and the heat and the steam, all of that is intense. It's like a lot is happening at the same time. Your brain and your body is hella confused. They don't know what's going on, but you're just letting it all in. Just suck it all up, letting it all in, right? And then phase 2, steam again. I was like, whew. Every time the steam is coming, I was like, no. That's the hard part. And then got through the second phase, got through the third portal, and then when we got to the fourth portal, I was like, okay, I've already handled 45 minutes of this. What's an extra 15 minutes, right? Did that. So after the full hour, then the shamans started letting us out one by one. At this point, I felt like I have sweated a gallon of water. That's how, between the heat and the steam and the yelling and everything else, I have sweated out everything. And he was telling us, okay, once you get out, you might feel a little dizzy because it's just, that's just how it is, right? So we go out into like a crawling motion because you don't want to hit your head because the thing is super low, and then get out of it. And once I got out, I kid you not, I felt so light. I felt like as if the weight of the world has been lifted off of my shoulder. I felt light. I felt, that's basically how to describe it. I don't know how else to describe it. I felt so light, and I didn't feel worried. I didn't feel anxious. I didn't have any strong negative feelings about anything. It was just calm, peaceful, and light. Once we finished, they gave us water, pineapple, and watermelon. So no alcohol, no sugar, no meat, just fruits and water. So we did that to sort of replenish ourselves. There was a little bit of there's a shower that's not too far from it. They recommended that we wash out all the sweat. So we did that, changed into the clothes I came in, and I went home and I slept like a baby. So that was my Temazcal experience, guys. So would I recommend it? Yes, I would, but based on everything that you've heard, if this feels like something that you feel like you can handle, absolutely. If this feels like, oh man, that sounds way too intense, if it sounds intense to you, then it's gonna be even more intense in person. So if you have certain medical conditions like asthma, or anything where you have trouble breathing, I would reconsider doing a Temazcal. But if you are in perfect health condition and you want to try this out, definitely try it out and see basically what the experience is gonna be like for you. For me, it was very intense. Would I do it again? Absolutely, because now I know what to expect. Something about going into something and not knowing what to expect creates an additional level of anxiety that is not always there the second time around. So I want to know, like, now that I know what it is and that I've done it, I want to know what it's going to be like to do it again, right? So that would be me. Would I do it again? Yes, I would. Would I recommend people doing it? If you're in good, healthy condition, yes. If you're not, I would not recommend it, because if you already have trouble breathing before the Temazcal, and I breathe normally every day, I don't have asthma, and I don't use inhalers, but I had trouble breathing because of the steaming, of course, but I would say that, yeah, I would totally do it again. So if you guys are in Tulum, Mexico, or in Mexico in general, and you have the opportunity to do a Temazcal ceremony or participate in a Temazcal ceremony and experience, it is a beautiful cultural experience. It's not for everybody. If you're super religious, you might want to reconsider it, because it has more to do with spirituality than religion. If you've done a Temazcal before, write down in the comment section what your experience was like, or if this sounds like something you would do. So definitely let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I appreciate it. And if you've watched all my Mexico Tulum series, thank you. So if you haven't watched them, they will be listed in the description bar below as well. So thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you. If you have watched this video and you like the information that was provided and you still haven't joined the family, definitely subscribe and hit the notification bell button. And also, guys, if you want to know more about my travel experiences, follow me on Instagram. It's Sabrina_Frederique, basically my name, but with an underscore in the middle. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you. I'll see you all next time. Bye.